Hey guys, Ballatw back with another video. It's a replay review this time. We're not doing a VOD review. Unfortunately, we don't have the POVs, we don't have the comms, but it's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be kind of free flow. I don't know exactly what my idea is for this, but it's going to be a very high level macro view of some of the games from Luxe Cup. So Epic was, I guess it's not kind enough. They released they dumped all of the replays from Luxe Cup, literally every single game. From semifinals to finals. So there's literally thousands of replays. You can go ahead and go check that out. It's actually in their recent blog post, the same infamous blog post that the stretched res changes came through. But there's links there to all the replays. You can just control F your favorite player or whatever you want to do, or even your name, and see how games went throughout the entire thing. It's literally every single moment of the game with everybody's POVs. So you'll be able to see who drops Junk Junction, you'll be able to see who drops Paradise, all this stuff. So it's very useful, very useful. And the fact that if a player doesn't stream a POV or something like that, you can still go ahead and go watch what they did in a certain game. So very, 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 very useful. So we're going to see what benefits it's going to have for us. We're going to try to take a look at some macro level things and then also kind of talk about some of the micro stuff that you can do, like watching somebody's POV. We can start mapping routes, all that sort of stuff. But before we get to that, guys, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and comment any ideas on future stuff you want to see. I'm super interested. And don't forget to use creator code BALLATW in the item shop. That's the first time I played it on video, but regardless, let's get into it. Oh, fuck, I forgot to do the notes. So we're going to edit part of this out, and we're going to... Ready. Woo! Here you go. So... I just want to take some notes about, I don't know exactly, I think it's going to be mostly general observations, but then also just like, I don't know, we'll see. I'm just going to write shit, and this is going to be really freeform because I tried to make an outline of like exactly what I want to talk about, but it's going to be pretty rough. So some things that we can already think about, like let me pull up the map real quick, right? You know what, let's do this while it's running. Is drops, right? So we can look at, obviously the issue is we don't want to look at one replay in isolation, right? We want to look at a bunch of different replays when we're making these high level observations, when we're looking at routes, when we're looking at early game or anything like that, because one replay is not going to show you the behavior of a certain amount of players. Like it's only going to show you the behavior of the players in this game, right? So when we end up looking at the drop spots, we could start to see what kind of places are empty, right? Obviously that's important, but we could also see like these awkward other spots, and we could start to plan routes and all sorts of things like that. We could start to see tendencies on people when the bus is this way. There's a lot of players already down here in Paradise, right? And this is, I tried to specifically, we can probably pause pretty soon here, but I tried to specifically like pick replays that isn't those end ones. Like the original idea was I want to get these stacked, I want to get the most stacked games. So I was going to be like, I'm going to just try to find however many players, or I'm going to pick a bunch of players and see if I can find the game with the most amount of them in the game. All right, we can pause almost. I don't know why. Slowed it down. All right, fuck it, right here, cool. So we could do that, but unfortunately, when we ended up getting a lot of stack players, there was like 40,000 people going tilted. So we're kind of getting robbed by the system right now in terms of quality of games. When there's highest amount of when there is the highest point lobbies, and this is the most stacked lobbies, people are doing dumb shit and going tilted and hot dropping like there's literally so many spots on the map that are just freaking not even covered. So it's kind of stupid. But yeah, regardless, early game, this is the first thing that we can do, and probably the most interesting and easiest thing to do, right? We could start to make judgments on how people play, where people go, what is free, right? Loot Lake, a big one right here, is free, so that's pretty interesting that it's free even one time out of probably it's out of 10 times I would never expect Loot Lake to be free, right? But apparently that's not true. Right. Well, I don't know. I haven't looked at 10 replays. I haven't seen this happen multiple times, but just the fact that this is already, I've looked at 5 replays and one of them they're free. That's fucking weird. Okay. That means that Loot Lake is probably always going to have. You can start to make these assumptions about how many people are dropping there, because I've seen up to three teams drop here. So you could say on average it's probably dropping a certain amount of players, right? And this is I'm gonna get super geeky and nerdy and shit like that, but we can start to make like probabilities of certain things happening and kind of base it. Like nobody's gonna make that effort, nobody's gonna do that effort until we start hiring analysts and shit like that for our teams, which some people already have, but right now they're not focused on things like this. Boom, boom, boom. Right, we could put somebody like Donnie to the test and literally say, analyze these top 100 games and tell me the percentage of things. Like somebody could make a visual like reader, an OCR reader, to spot and be like, okay, if there's any colors entering this area, then detect, and that's a person dropping Loot Lake and shit like that. There could be so much there's so much potential there. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Okay, let's continue. Let's watch this. I'm not used to the tool yet, so you're gonna have to forgive me sometimes with my shortcut usage, but yeah. Okay, also Bizzle and Demo getting Divot. I seen them get Divot twice uncontested. We just click around like this. This replay tool is insane. I can press 5 to go to gameplay mode. We can see him looting shit up. The other thing that we're going to be able to do is spot little paths, right? See what they got on the information coming in was that Diner was uncontested, so immediately Bizzle goes up there. And then they're also going to be able to come loot Pirate Ship and check it, right? They're looking at these things, right? They definitely want this vending machine. They definitely want this vending machine. They want to check the baller spawn. And then I thought that there was a potential to see whether or not they could, you know, squeeze into Loot Lake, but obviously depending on the map, they're gonna want to cut things short. This is really loud, so we're gonna turn that down a little bit. Another route that's I want to see interesting routes. Actually, I wanted to go back in this replay real quick. So I already talked about early game probabilities and analysis. That was like a weird tangent shit. We can just look at drop spots and try to find uncontested stuff, right? And then I want to talk about paths, interesting paths, right? I can look at this map basically, and if I went back far enough, let me go back like right here. This is a very, very basic one, but we'll show you a more advanced kind of split in the early game that's possible. Right, was I forgot who it was. These guys, Top Gun and Nanolite, doing a chair, and we've seen the twins do this. They even do it. They even take it a step further, but splitting here and splitting here. Okay, and then you have the balls, and you actually see him kind of split this entire area while they just kind of roam around. Okay, you use the ballers to split a lot. I think most people are knowing that at this point. I haven't talked specifically about it, but even further, if we got a twins replay, we would see them do a split where they do split this and split this, right? Sometimes these ideas don't come intuitively to most people. I'm thinking now it is, because we also see like Strugs and Bumpa. I've seen them in a replay, and I've seen them their VODs, and I've talked about it with them. Do splits like Volcano and this, because they have the vents and shit like that, right? We could spot these interesting routes just based off of looking at the map. Okay, not interesting routes, but interesting splits. What else? Also, this is very important to note. Look how congested these three spots are. Salty in another replay is hella congested. There's more people that are dropping here than normally drop in like customs. Like if you watch retail in customs, if you got this from retail, you'd see 2 teams there max, right? Same with Pleasant, right? I mean, after a while. And then obviously in tournaments, you end up at the end, people changing things up. But regardless, let's go ahead and hop into retail really quickly. Ooh, and we can do things like this, right? What the fuck is 72 hours in Vivid doing here? Interesting. You can see people change things up as they go. I actually saw them dropping here multiple times, and we'll see them again in a different replay. Racetrack uncontested. Greasy uncontested. A lot of this area uncontested. This area uncontested. Like, this is the shit that we can do. Regardless, moving on. Moving on. I'm harping way too much. Why can't I? Here we go. Harping way too much. I want to get to the when the zone starts closing, so let's go over there. This is cool what Top Gun is doing, and a lot of players are doing at this point, is like just checking these random spots, these spots that could be uncontested, right? It wasn't Anthony and Joseph came here, but they did actually not loot the basketball court. So he ended up getting AK ammo. It could have been something better, right? But there's a possibility of this going uncontested, just like there was a possibility of loot late going uncontested, right? So just checking that. I think that's what most people are doing right now. We can start to see what the goals of players are as they start to move around, right? These two players dropped on Viking, and Snobby's actually uncontested. The house is here uncontested. This is uncontested, right? All these sorts of things, if you watch your replays back, you can start, hey, this is actually happening 50% of the time. We should be paying attention to this, right? Because if they saw this, if they saw that Snobby was uncontested, they could freaking now make the decision next game. Let's make sure we check. Let's make sure we check that Snobby was uncontested or is uncontested. Because if we check that and we get Viking uncontested, then you could fucking go Snobby and we could split this shit. Right? We could split this shit, but you can make these assumptions, or you can make these guesses and things that you should check, right? I'm not saying that based on this information that Snobby is uncontested in this game, that I should always freaking split Snobby. No, I'm saying let's make sure that we see if there's anybody gliding there. If we get Viking uncontested, we can maybe do a split, right? You can start to adjust your strategies based off things you're seeing and behaviors you're seeing inside of these replays. Okay, let's get towards the next zone. Let's get to the next zone. Yeah, Zeta's right. This is definitely an unusual replay. I'm pretty sure I saw Lagoon. Like, there's so much shit uncontested just because of the amount of people that were dropping in hotspots. But again, you can use multiple replays in a row as a tool to start looking at things. You can't use one replay to start changing your behavior on these macro level assessments. You just can't. If you do, you're screwing yourself, right? You're getting incomplete information. Its sample size is so important. When we talk about the game as like this game is a lot of RNG, all right, that's right there is why you cannot do this. Like in Counter-Strike, sure, I could watch one Astralis replay and be like, okay, they do this, right? In this game, no, you can't do that. Specifically in these pop-ups, because you don't know who's going to be in the server with you. You literally have no idea. But we can always play the probabilities. Okay, I wanted to always talk about first circle positioning and how you usually end up, I mean, it ends up most of the time being a circle in some quarter of the map, right? Some quadrant of the map, okay? And one side has to rotate into it. We're gonna continue to evaluate and see what are the most congested positions in that first circle, that second circle, so that we can avoid getting storm fought, right? So when the zone is in certain spots, what are the most congested positions? Okay, so I'm specifically, I already know that these spots right here are the most congested positions. And this is a very logical assumption based on the fact that the majority of the map coming from the biggest area, right? This area is rotating this way. This area is rotating this way, but the rest of the area has to come diagonally like this. So really obvious. You could already see that. Look at how many people are over here. Oh, Jesus. Look at how many people there are. There's four duos right there. They have the vents, so it's not that big of a deal for them because they can kind of vent away from each other. But this is the reason why people get storm fought. You can see they already split into two different groups, but they ended up going into more people, right? Legit more people. This entire edge is the most, look how this isn't and this isn't. So right, when we talk about getting storm fought, a lot of times it is your positioning, right, that actually contributes to it. Sure, if you are rotating from Sunny, then you do have to make a path through here, right? But you should be trying to make an attempt to not have to do that. Try to make an attempt to come over here. Try to make an attempt to come over here, or go early, right? Because you don't want to put yourself in this position where there's so many teams that even if you do end up getting a fight here, you're gonna get shot by people over here. It's just ridiculous. Like, stay away from that edge of the zone early enough before this happens. I'm assuming we're gonna get to a point where, and this already happens in customs, where this is literally not happening because everybody's already pushing towards that next zone, or already pushing towards the center zone, right? This shit on the side of the map right here. Oh, this is all the way down here, right? And it's interesting too. Like, when you think about fights that are good to take, we already know, everybody knows that this side of the zone is going to be slower, right? The side that has less space to cover for the zone, so it's going to be slower, right? You're going to be able to outrun it much easier than if you're in this corner, okay? But the other thing to note is, like, look, we already talked about this side is going to have less people. This fight actually starts to become a little bit better. I'm not saying that it's good. I'm just saying that this fight looks a little bit better because of how many people there are around. There's nobody here to third party. Nobody. Not a single person. So that fight could go as long as they want. They're not going to get a third party. They could. There's the possibility. There's always the possibility. In this game, there's not the possibility. What else? This is something else that I like, that I'm thinking is probably going to be a good idea, is to look at people who get really good positions and ask, how did they get there and why did they get there and all that sort of stuff, right? Anthony and Joseph right here, perfectly center, right? Perfectly center, and they got themselves a house. They're chilling, right? If you come later than them, you're not going to get this house. This house is taken. Possibly these guys are going to take this house. There's all these positions that start to get scooped up. Right? Just get a ball. Yep, that's exactly what they did, actually. They landed here, and they had a ball, and they rotated. I can't freaking move this thing. I wanted... Who was it? Where are they? Oh, I think they're already getting towards polar. Oh, I can zoom in and see. There we go. This is something that didn't actually work out, but I did want to mention it, as I saw this when I was tracking paths, right? Bizzle and Demo got a interesting position. I was like, okay, let's see how they got there. I went back and I looked at what happened here. Look at Bizzle split. He's scouting for area, and then he does something that I saw X2 Twins doing a lot as well. Is just tossing the ball back and forth. They literally toss the ball back and forth between each other. Even when they were traveling in the ravine. Open the map. They're traveling over here. Like, Demo went really far ahead. He started looting, and he tossed the ball backwards so that Bizzle could catch up. Like, one ball is fine for duos. Just make sure that you understand that you can share the ball. It doesn't have to be one person sitting it the entire time. Okay, moving on. Did it even throw the ball? No. Oh, they missed it in this game. They actually lost the ball because it's a high peak and it fell off and it just went in an awkward position. Demo couldn't catch it, so it just built up. Interesting. Really quickly, wanted to see, like, building up the polar is like kind of crazy. Okay, it's this side that's going to be crazy to build up, but like right here is actually not that bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad. But being up on top of polar is very good, because if you end up, there's not only is there a lot of stuff to stay in, a lot of brick to chill in, but there's always the possibility that it goes on polar, so just going up there is really good. Okay, back to gameplay. Who else has an interesting position? What is this? What is this, Snood? What is this? Alright, not that great. They just farmed out a house and moved on. Whoa, what the fuck? I didn't want to move, man. Why you do this to me? His nameplate's on. Important as we get to end game. This house. I think you'll see something as well that's a recurring theme. I mean, everybody knows that people want to recycle houses, but like the amount that people do, like they go from one place to the next place to the next place, and the amount that they stay max all the way, like the best players, like there's a replay here coming up with Zayt and Saf, like legit, they never were not maxing out. Never at all. Okay, next zone position. This was not these guys. These guys had well, I have some information that's gonna be revealed later on, but these guys had this entire thing. They just pathed all the way out, recycling the entire way, and they basically get, well, number one, they won happy, which was super. They got 2 rifts out of it or something like that, and then they path out all the way towards the 4th zone, and then they basically get a position for free in the, not for free, they spend at launchpad, and they have a lot of mobility because they looted all of happy, and it's so freaking OP. And then they didn't fight at all until the rest of the game. Right? They just continued recycling. Nobody in this lobby, at least. We'll see Mitro and Mongrel have a different opinion of their game later on. But nobody in this lobby that does anything is legit fighting at all. All right. So basically the last stage of the game. Number one. Again, I'm doing super macro shit today. It's really weird and really fluid, and I don't really know exactly the type of direction I'm gonna take this. But you could always just look at Crims, right? You could always just take his POV and just watch this shit and figure out why Crims is good at the game. Great player, right? You can watch Snood, you watch Whitefo, you can watch Demo, Bizzle, whatever, right? Just like watching their stream, just like doing anything, you could do this. Oh, they're actually fighting Snood and Thwifo. This is actually kind of interesting. Box to box. This is all people are going for right now. And the other thing was, these guys are building big bases and staying on the edge. Well, when they're on the edge, they're not building the big base, but when they were centered, they were building big bases. Same with Saf and Zayt. They build bases. They build big bases to make it harder for people to be like, yeah, I want to push that, I want to stink that shit, I want to start dynamiting them, I want to focus them down. No, they build that's a fucking tongue twister and a half. What the fuck is that? Everybody say it. You can't tell me you can say they build big bases. They build big bases. Come on, bros. Holy shit. Oh man. This starts to be the section of the replay that like you can already do anyways, but I'm pretty sure nobody does. But it also starts to become the most useless, right? When I talk about like the overall, like, oh, you can start to track tendencies and shit like that. This starts to be the most useless to track tendencies because all the tendencies are kind of just like people are starting to play off of ear, right? You're not going to be able to say, yeah, at the 5th circle when it's down at Happy Hammond, you're going to be able to know that 50% of the time there's 6 players coming from this way. No, you can't do that. So like this is the kind of stuff when we get down to here that we already know, kind of we can already do this. I don't think anybody does really, but I think the most important thing is just watching how all the good players are taking and starting to look at what's happening in the server and making the decisions and then fighting and then seeing how those decisions collide, right? So this is talking about like rotation timing. This is talking about taking height timing, all that sort of stuff. I don't know why I'm watching him. Timba. Let's watch. Let's watch Bizzle and Demo for whatever reason. I don't actually know. And the other thing is like trying to pick out the winning moment is pretty interesting. All right, trying to pick out what is the thing that won the game, whether it's somebody's decision that actually won them the game or whether it's somebody else's decision that lost the game for them and made the other person win, right? And we'll see that in this game. You know, there's something I said about tendencies. Like I'm just thinking about it now. Like you can start to see when people spend their launch pads and stuff. Like you start to see when people tend to spend their mobility. Like I'm pretty sure that these guys might spend something, right? Or actually, you know, they're on high ground. It could be easy to sneak through here. These guys spend something. You can start to kind of make decisions based on that. Not decisions, but like evaluations based on that, right? How many people fly in at this point? Whether it's worth to start like staying edge zone based on the amount of people right here, right? Like if everybody's starting to tend to go into zone early, and this is not something that I'm recommending yet, I'm just saying like you can start to ask these questions, right? If everybody's starting to go into zone early, staying edge zone might be better because there's way more people over here and way more people to decide, hey, I want to enter a game and start throwing stinks on you, right? Just because this is a lot. Like you look back to like even Secret. I mean, Secret had invited players only, and there was a lot of players who might, well, I don't know. Or maybe people are just catching on, or maybe the reason why there's not that many people is because it's a really south zone, so everybody came in on the top, and then the circle came north. But regardless, you'll see Bizzle and Demo in the middle zone right here. That's such a good position. It sucks because like the decisions that you make now are not the ones that are winning you the game. They're getting you through this stage of the game only. This is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. Micro level tactic here. Just having a ramp and then having a backwards ramp over your teammate so you can see over your teammate. Kind of blocking Bizzle's view, but he's in a cone himself. Kind of cool. All right, let's speed up because we have 4 replays to get through. Where are the ballers near divot? The ballers near divot are where our pirate outposts up over here. This one. That's it. There's only one. Oh, and I guess like, nope, that's pretty much it. Next zone, I didn't even look how these guys rotated. Okay, they didn't actually use mobility, and we'll see like what ends up happening to them. I'm gonna stick with them for a sec because I feel like that was probably, if they don't have mobility, it's probably not the greatest idea. Okay, Yeti rifted, and then they got the rift. But what happened to them? Oh, replay mode is great. Woo! Kind of buggy. Kind of buggy. I guess it should be looking here, right? What was their name? I don't even remember their name now. Brocane. This guy. So he's dead. So forcing out mobility probably ain't the play. At least that late when the zone is starting to push you. Look how fast Bizzle and Demo moved over here. Or started moving. This is the awkward part that I think a lot of people are having trouble with right now is trying to make the... Oh, Bizzle had a ball. I forgot. No, he didn't have a ball. How'd he get over here? Motherfucker. Bizzle, how'd you get over here? Oh. Oh, no. No shot. Oh, it was a knock. No, it was a finish. Cat interruption. What do you want? Nothing? All right. Back to the replay review. Wait, he just ran. He just ran. All right, next thing, I want to see the winning moment. I just want to see exactly what the winning moment is. I already have some information, so fuck you guys. I'm gonna act like a genius. I think most people are starting to know, like, oh yeah, the time to take high is at the end of the first moving zone. I think most people are starting to realize that. This is not the guy that I want. I wish I could click on the motherfuckers that I want. There we go. And we'll start to see kind of why, I think, in a few different ones. And you'll start to see also kind of what happens when somebody does something in the game that will affect everybody, right? It will affect everybody. Am I watching the right dude? Oh yeah, yeah. So the high timing was actually, yeah, so it's like not really the end of it, right? It's barely going up on the side of polar, and it's not really the end of it. And also, if you take it at this stage, you have to take stock of your materials, okay? And I think everybody needs to make an evaluation about how many people are fighting for it. Why am I speeding up? How many people are fighting for it? A lot of players just went down. 24 left. Have to start making an evaluation about how many people are fighting for it. And your mat situation. Can you actually hold this? This is really nice by them. Like, they know that Anthony and Joseph are the only people up there. The only people. So doing this kind of play is fine, right? Because nobody else is going to be able to take shots at you. Knock them down. One person was spamming. Okay, he gets hit. Whatever. Ah! Oh, that's so awkward. That's why you reset the walls, if you can, at least one of them. Because it really sucks not to be able to catch yourself there. Dang, get wrecked. That was questionable. He already had height. I'm not sure why he went back into zone to do that. But I'm already starting to like, we're already starting to note like the materials. Like people on low ground right now need to figure out what they're gonna do to stop these players from height from not doing anything. And then another thing was, what are you doing on height right now that's gonna make you end up winning the game? And obviously they get a bunch of kills, so that's good. They actually don't get challenged that much. Now that I'm watching it back fully. It challenged a little bit. Oh wow, Nick Merckx with the fight red. Okay, okay. Again, we're looking for that winning moment. What exactly is what won them the game? I don't think I've seen anything right now. Oh, these guys didn't actually win the game. This is why we're still watching. I know who won the game, so I can tell you what the fuck it is. I think we'll do it the opposite way next time. Like watch the ends, go back, see exactly what time that they won the game. I think right now they were in a good position until they started running out of mats. So like the issue was, yeah, actually threats just went down specifically because he didn't have any mats. So he was like, oh, I need to go down. I need to get an impact frag. But you'll see Saf and Zayt play this a lot slower, right? They'll pace themselves with their mats. Get all their kills towards the very end of the game rather than trying to get a bunch of kills just because they have height. Just because they have height isn't actually the play. Right? White Hat just lost his teammate, and then Kanata, they know this guy is low on, like, he's been up there for so long, they can make an assumption, not an assumption, depending on like what kind of frags he gets. But if they're paying attention to what's on high ground, they can make a decision. Okay, this guy's actually starting to run out. Or you can know what is the optimal time to fight back based on not only stuff that you're watching in a replay, but the rest of the stuff as well. What's the material situation on SIP? Okay, so he has mats. All right, regardless, I don't think there's anything else really to say about this. That winning moment was the fact that those guys up top ran out of mats. That gave Sip and Kanata the chance to win here. All right, let's move on to the next one. We're back. Let's do this one. Time to take high for duos definitely ends earlier compared to solos. Yep, 100%. You just need to take it earlier just because of the mat situation, right? There's a mat curve where you end up in solos you only have 1500, in duos you have 3000, right? So it's all of that. That's the reasoning there. It's different timing, slightly different, but you'll be able to see a pattern if you watch many replays like this, or just games in general. You can't really do this from VODs, right? You can't really do this from VODs. You kind of have to have a replay and watch the winning moment to be able to be like, okay, yes, taking high here is the right time. You can get it from experience, obviously, and watching replays, I think, because you don't have the full picture otherwise. You don't have the full picture otherwise. All right, let's try to spot some interesting routes again. Interesting routes. This game is pretty stacked. Aspect Animals, 8 Saf, I think Chap and Poach, I think Vivid in 72 hours. All that stuff. Whee! Alright, this is the second game that we watched. Yes. I'm already seeing a split. That's fucking phenomenal. All right, let's see. Let's take a look real quick. Second game, drop spots. Oh, look, Dusty is uncontested again. What the hell? Lazy Lagoon uncontested. This time there's 3 teams at Loot Lake, but look at this. What's going on with that split? What else? Nothing at Salty. I must have already said that. Greasy again, kind of uncontested. Soccer uncontested. This is weird. I mean, obviously nobody's gonna land on this hill, but like this area. Snobby this time has 2 teams. Somebody's making a split like this. This is good. Well, this kind of sucks, right? Actually, this sucks right here because of what else happened, right? Look at this split. What the hell is going on here? That's sick. That's actually insane. Lucky uncontested. This is not taken. So that play that we saw the other time where they took the balls and actually checked up here is interesting. But we're going to get through this a lot faster, I think. Let's check some of these splits, right? Of course it is. Of course. So Saf and Zayt's over here, dropping here. Oh my goodness. This man got a goal vending and a ball. Now there's Sats. And he's got the north side of Loot Lake pretty much free, but it's weird now, right? Saf doesn't have any tools to get towards 8. Right, so if these guys decide to push him, he's kind of in, like, it's a little bit of a risk. We'll see, like, what, I actually want to see what Saf is doing, like, to make sure that's not happening to him. Yeah, like even aspect and animal dropping retail, right? By the way, interesting. And I saw them do something else. I don't think I have that replay, but yeah, I do want to see what Saf is doing to make sure that he's not getting pushed. There's one, just editing through that just to see. Not only can he, yeah, just seeing what's going on the other side. When he's running up there, he's already going to run up there regardless. Okay, there was another split that was crazy. This one, this is interesting. This is an idea for people. He actually didn't get a ball, so sucks to suck. But like, this is super good, right? Because, well, this guy almost certainly is maybe gonna get a ball. There's 2 baller spawns in these little shacks around here. But Greasy being uncontested, I think it happens a lot. I think it happens probably more than we realize. And then he has the chance for, no, he has just cannons. I don't think he has a ball. Maybe he has a ball over here, but that's pretty far. No, sorry, is it here? That's pretty far. Okay. Oh. Yeah, let's fix that, Anthony. Good looks. Good looks. Where do I go? Should I go up here? Should I go over here? Yeah, bitches, we going over there. Ooh. Nice. Looking good over there. Cool. We looking good. Boom. Okay, back to the Saf. Back to Zayt. Cool. This is interesting. Pathing right now for Saf. Not only is he trying to get closer. Oh, Zayt's looking at this too. This is cool. I'm starting to get a little frustrated with this tool right now. It's so hard to just switch players. I love this. I love this. Okay, so Zayt did get a rift, which obviously they don't know off the split, but that's a way that they can get off of there. And he also has the baller, so you can get quickly to Saf. These baller splits are so good. I love what he's doing right now. He could easily get out of the baller and take shots, but they're kind of looking to see whether these guys are going to fight. If they're going to fight, yeah, I can take shots. If they're not going to fight, what's the point? All right. I could pinch the fight, but I'm pinching 2 teams. They actually start to disengage. Oh, this is such good tracking. That's actually so sick. The fact that they like had spent a lot of mats, he kind of like, I don't know if you saw him. I don't know if you could see him. We couldn't see him on the replay, but maybe Zayt could. Just coming over here, grabbing this guy because he's farming. He's trying to farm so he can get back to his teammate in case they do decide to push, and then just picking him off. That's so good. That's the way you fight these like little stalemate engagements where one team is just posted up against the other one. That's awesome. And then also Saf on the flank too. This is just really, really good positional play. Really, really good. I was like, how is this guy gonna freaking know at all that Saf is coming from this area? He was already looking at this guy, and then suddenly another guy comes from over here. He's like, what the hell is going on? And he also has no information because Cryptify just instantly died. Instantly died. Nice fight. This is something that I'm going to spend a lot of time watching. It's so much easier to spot fights, right? It's so much easier to be like, yeah, okay, there's a fight here. I'm going to be able to freaking catch this. This is sick. This is sick. What else? All right, let's move on. I want to get through the rest of the replays. Let's go to the winning moment from this. Let's just skip to the end game. And kind of see what happens in like the stacked ass fucking. This is the thing that I was talking about. Like I saw Saf and Zayt move from this house to like a different house based in the zone. They just continue. Oh, they also stacked up by the. This is the thing too. Back here, maybe even farther. Yeah, they're literally based up in a little tiny metal. They're using metal at the vent, right? This is such a like. This is so early in the game, but they're still using metal just to be like, yeah, guys, fuck off, right? I don't want anything to do with you guys. You guys want to push me? Feel free to push through my metal. If you want to do that, then we'll just leave. But like, they're signaling, right? Zayt is actually like the best. Like I love the freaking stuff that Zayt does with mobility items that have been in the game, like the hot rocks, the shadow stones. Every single time you see him using these so well in all sorts of aspects. Other people would take the vent and go. Sure, people know that you can stay on the side of the vent. I just really like that he based up in metal. Also, there's that container there, so he refarmed a little bit, but just not wood. Even in this stage of the game, this is only third circle, right? Even in this stage of the game. So yeah, I want to protect myself. I'm not using wood. All right, anyways. Now we go to winning moments. Now we go to the winning moments. This height? Yes. No, not really. 5 gameplay, thank you. Okay. Somewhat height, right? This is just like gatekeeping, right? They get height a little bit so that they can shoot at people. That's important. You'll see a lot of really good teams like Mitra Mongrel, all these teams. It's before first moving zone. I mean the full moving zone. It's like around half and half, right? But they build up anyways. Let's see the timing of this. Jesus Christ, I need to go back further. All right. This is this time. Okay, they actually just landed on an old height. But they did build up more. Ah, even building up a little more. Does he get knocked down? No, regardless. It's actually really funny that he's tagging up Aspect there, because they end up fighting Aspect for height a little bit in the next zone. It's like, and it's an easier fight because Aspect is low. That's pretty funny. These events, just getting these tags on everybody. You never know who you're gonna end up fighting in the future, or like what's going. You obviously you want people low because then they die, and you want to be first place, whatever. It's just funny. It's just funny. These occurrences. You would never see this. You would never know this if they didn't talk, or if there wasn't replay mode. You would never know. I love how Zayt is taking his time and not just spamming this poor soul off the side, right? He's making sure he gets the kill. He wants to get the kill. He doesn't want to let anybody else get it. Like if he just spams his AR, sure, everybody's gonna start spamming him, but then it just becomes RNG to get the kill. And these guys are gonna die like almost certainly no matter what. A little bit of lag there, whatever. Saf is doing the same thing too, right? They're not just randomly spamming. I wish I could see their ammo, because it might be a decision like, oh, their ammo's low, but I doubt it. I feel like it's 100%. They decide, hey, let's not spam these. Let's not spam when we're on the side. Let's just tap and try to get the kill. The guy just decided that he's like, yeah, I'm gonna try to heal you, I'm gonna try to res you, and then all of a sudden, it's funny. Okay, next zone. This is the time. Alright, this is a hit right here. This is the timing again. The timing you want to know. The timing you want to find out. And I mean, literally every single game I watch of Saf and Zayt, they're on fucking high ground. So like, this is actually so important. How the fuck do they do it every time? This is how. You saw actually he looked up to see what was going on around above him. Let's see like what they were doing. Let's see if there's anybody who's gonna be able to land on them. Oh, he just barely missed that. So key though. Guess who they fight? They actually build fight each other for a second. I want to back to this. Aspect and Animal try to do exactly the same thing. Where's Aspect? Where's Aspect? Hello? What happened to you? Oh, he is fighting for it. But notice how they don't, like, they lose it and they're like, okay, no, we're done. We're not going to fight. This is a trend that I'm seeing as well, right? Is literally you can watch any of the really good players in these games and you'll see them not constantly fight for height. But from here, it's a done deal, actually. Saf and Zayt just win the game from here because they never lose high ground and they don't really get crazy contested for it. And you see them do this shit right here where they're like split right this. They're not on the same level the entire time. Like, let's watch from Zayt's POV. It's probably easier. Hold up. Hold up. God, dude. Look how far Saf goes, man. Look at this shit. It's nuts. Zayt's all the way back here. Saf is all the way forward. So good. This is a perfect example of switching up and like swapping, taking shots and not taking shots. Perfect. Perfecto. And then having the mats to hold high as well. I wonder, like, I feel like Zayt has been shooting Aspect like fucking crazy. I wonder if he knows it's him. like he just shot him like obviously he was open to take shots at, so maybe it's just random, but like, yeah, I doubt it. I doubt he knows. That was such a good job just shooting out every... Oh, by the way, like building over the tree, I think that was a goal of Sap's there, possibly, just to make it so it's harder to see whether or not it's going to get knocked out, right? And also harder to actually shoot out. Once it goes over the tree, you have to shoot the tree first. So you're literally not going to get shot by anything. And there's the RPGs as well. They do such a good job of taking people out of the sky. They literally never get landed on. And this is pop-up. You got to remember, this is pop-up. Like, people land on height all the time like idiots, but this, they've never gotten landed on just yet. Every single time they force them down so fast. Every single time. All right, let's go take a look at what is happening down on the low ground really quickly. Our friends here. There's an animal. To the left over there. I love this. Oh, that sucks. He's dead. But I just love the fact that he started getting pressured by animal started getting pressured, and Aspect just instantly boom, silence SMG, trying to get through the wall, trying to get to the other player. That's so good. I wonder how much people have influence on the amount of teams up. Like, if they're keeping aware of whether or not they're getting the points. Well, let's go back to Zayt. This game's relatively over. RPG from height, super easy. I'm actually more impressed by anything, like the fact that nobody landed on them. Very impressed, very impressed. All right, it's a wrap here for Animal. Zayt wins. We'll watch it. Boom, 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 boom. Beautiful. What was that? Did you guys see that? Was sad. It's like super bugged out. All right, do like the early game analysis stuff again, but yeah, let's do it. Let's just do it briefly. I do have to go early today. But still, like, I also didn't have much more to talk about. I think the biggest feedback I have right now about this tool is I need to be able to freaking... Is there a shortcut for the speed tools? That'd be amazing. If there's a shortcut for the speed tools, it would be amazing. And also just to have nameplates here, this would be super sick as well. Yeah, Divot uncontested again, man. Only 2 teams Lake. This is a nice split. Alrighty, you can see. Viking uncontested, Snobby is uncontested, Soccer. There's more more is uncontested in these pop-ups than I think I've ever seen. Look how congested the south side of the map is. The majority of everybody's down here. I'd say probably like what, 60%. There's a lot of people like right here. It's so random in these pop-ups. Like, you never know. I wonder if like looking at the bus is a thing again. Like looking at the bus, see how many people are dropping, because what, the bus came like, how was it, like this, something like that, and nobody came over here. You could easily tell, if you could easily tell that only this amount of people dropped this early in the bus. Like, just by looking, and you could easily make a decision. Okay, there's not going to be anybody up there. It's hypothetical, but it's possibly. Okay, what am I watching? Okay, what else? Yeah, Divot, man. Divot never. It's 3 in a row. Just Bizzle and Demo. We saw. Just Bizzle and Demo, and this is weird. Viking is usually one I think. I don't know, man. It's weird. Shit is weird. Zexro and Vinny leave Viking, and all of a sudden nobody's going there. All right, let's go end game. I think next time I use replays like this, I'm just gonna go straight up on like one person, just like get all their replays and just watch their POV. I can finally do like a full Aspect VOD review or something like that. That'd be great. Great. What am I looking for? Can you please go to him? Oh, I have to unpause maybe? Play? Go? Oh, this is him. Whoa, it says it's not him. There we go. Okay, this is something that we saw Safin's 8 to do as well, right? The timing of them being up a little higher to take shots in the half in, half out zone. They're just this high as well. In the next zone, they got high as well. Come on, we'll just pop that fool. All right, let's get the nameplates. Exactly the same timing and exactly the same result, right? Mongol just got 2 kills already just because he was high. Literally the only reason he was able to actually even see anything. And it's even it's so much stronger in this area, right? Because there's no fucking hills, there's no dips, there's no mountains or anything like that blocking your vision. You literally see everybody here. Literally everybody. Every single person in the game right now, they can get a shot on if they wanted to. Such good high ground timing. Almost gets another kill. Almost gets another kill. Rifts are gone, so they're not, Vikings not that good anymore. Yeah, see, we're just looking, like, we're not trying to evaluate specific spots, why they're good, why they're bad or whatever, but like when you play this game, you want to get something uncontested. I don't really care what it is. If you get something uncontested, you're good. You don't have to fight at all. It's so solid. All right, you can get fucking, I don't care, like fucking anything. You get these 2 houses this uncontested, it's better than getting contested at Viking, right? It just is. It just is. Unless you have a clear advantage over the other team, like they're bad. Okay, now it's good. Now it's good to get contested, right? If you're getting contested against bots, yeah, sure, but anything could happen, right? You're giving yourself more opportunities to screw up, which is bad as well. I don't know. What are they doing? How did that? Come on, bruh. Oh, they were playing native, so they couldn't see the zone, right, guys? I cracked myself up. Oh my goodness, I'm so funny. Notice how, again, this is too early for them to like hold on to height, right? They're not tarping, they're single building. Even still, right? Probably a mistake there though. This is sick. That actually wasn't a mistake, right? One person built up on one side, one person built up on the other side. And one of them gets knocked down, but not the other. How fucking dope is that? So now they guaranteed to stay up. Regardless, unless 2 people focus them. And they were smart enough to shoot both of them at the same time, right? And he gets to save mats because he can do this fucking shit where he places a stair and a floor and goes up like this. Obviously, he wants to be a little bit protected and he needs to be paying attention to that because people obviously can shoot him. But he can just do this and then just connect at the top. And then all of a sudden, sure, somebody could notice, whatever, but it's going to move. Zone's going to cover. Everybody else has their own shit to worry about. Actually pretty dope. They both did it too. Notice how unstable this shit is. But they're fucking comfortable. And then they connect to each other. And now no one is gonna be able to notice this, and nobody should notice this anymore because why? Why would you even care? Also love how fucking fast he shoots his SMG at people who are starting to take height. He's not like trying to block them or anything like that. He just starts shooting. Not only just to get damage, but just to interrupt them, right? Now they have to focus energy on stopping him from shooting him. They need to block, and they need to extend, or they need to cover more. But now they're in high ground in a good position, right? And they barely spent any mats getting it. I'm not sure this is fake or something like that. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is their style, and they're good enough to do this because they're gonna get the impact frags. We'll see. If he builds one more piece, we'll see if the mat count is correct. Well, there's an impact frag if I've ever seen one. How to win Mitro and Mongrel the game. Land on them and give them all your mats. Perfect. So he actually didn't get... Oh, yes, he did. There's another 30 builds. Oh, shit, they lost it. Minigun, by the way, on Mongrel. I think people are realizing how fucking good it is. This is really nice. They, instead of just like spamming builds to fight for height, they Zayt and Saf and Mitro and Mongrel are the cleanest at holding the height I think I've watched. You'll see other unexperienced duos just spam build fight people, and then complain like, why are you build fighting me? This is how you do it. Right? Literally, so many people have tried to take height from them. So many people have literally build fought them if they wanted to. But they don't build fight back. They just realize, here, let's take this slow, let's just knock them down, let's reset this. And then they go for it. Right? That was so simple. So simple. Jesus, Mitro. Jesus. Alright, are you gonna land? No, no, you definitely can't. Really, buddy? Alright, maybe I picked a bag of replay here. It's starting to just be like, ooh, let's just jump around. Let's just jump around and land on Mitro and Mongrel on height. Perfect idea. Let's go for it. Alright, this was definitely the wrong replay to choose. I mean, I guess we get to see this, but like, this is literally just like you said, go crazy, go stupid. Nine and 8. Buddy, are you kidding me? Maybe not the greatest of lobbies. Alpha, Blaster, Jammering, Macau, Zeke, and Hadikos. They probably all died early. Not recognizing any other names. Except Dynamo. This man landed on him after he was already shooting him. Huge, huge, huge. Okay, this is definitely the wrong replay to choose. Whatever. Zip on. Yeah, zip on. Alright. Okay. That's gonna be it. Like, that was a little weird, but whatever. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun too. I hope you guys had fun too. I kind of definitely am not going to do like the macro analysis stuff too often, but I think if I do, I'm gonna spend some time preparing it rather than kind of just, I mean, I did spend some time preparing, but like not that much. It's gonna have to be like a longer topic. Maybe I'll just stick to videos in terms of that stuff. But That's gonna be a wrap, guys. If you did enjoy that Twitch chat, stay here, man. We're gonna raid somebody and talk a little bit. My cat wants to talk too, but that's gonna be a wrap, guys. If you like that video, make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe and do all the things on my social media. Use code Ballatw. If you do want to get a VOD reviewed, I am doing that. You need to check the description below on how to get in on the Tuesday 3 p.m. Eastern VOD review sessions. Next week's topic is going to be, not next week's, week after that is going to be converting your creative 1v1 build fights to real games. So I'm asking people to submit both a 10-minute VOD of them build fighting and then a 10-minute real game VOD. And we're going to talk about converting the 1v1 skills into normal build fight or normal games, right? Mechanics to normal games. Kind of weird. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later, all right? Peace.